welcome back to Between Us Girlies. I'm Lindsay.
I'm Bailey.
I'm Bran.
I'm Casey.
And today we have a very, very, very special guest with us for our episode 20. Do you want to introduce yourself, Mr.
Josh Shapiro? I'm psyched to be here
Governor Shapiro.
with the girlies in the house.
The governor is with the girlies, and we are so excited to have him. Why don't you start off the episode with a girly quote?
Girly quote. Can I start out the episode with a fun fact?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
3 of us are from the same hometown, right here.
Yeah.
Put your hands
Raise your
up.
hand if you're
There you go. Pretty cool. All right, girly quote of the day. I do love a good quote. How about we go with "This Ain't Texas" by Beyonce. Love Beyonce. Love the quote, and I hope you all saw my TikTok recently.
We sure did.
Oh,
All right,
sure
there you
did.
go. So "This Ain't Texas." That's my quote of the day.
Well, we can't wait to dive deeper into that a little bit more in the
Okay.
end of our episode. But we love to start off our episodes with a weekend recap. So, what are you looking forward to this weekend? Did you have a great weekend last weekend? Anything you want to share with the girlies?
So I'll share everything with the girlies. You just got to ask,
Yeah.
right? So last weekend was my wife's birthday, which was awesome. I will not tell you how old she was because she will kill me. We've been together since the 9th grade. We've celebrated a lot of birthdays together.
Oh my God.
So, man, we just had a great day. We took a long walk. I got her a massage. And then our son's girlfriend had a lacrosse game not too far away. So we watched the lacrosse game. We had dinner together. We were at the governor's residence in Harrisburg. It was great. We had a great time. So it's just cool.
That sounds like a
And,
perfect day.
This is perfect. And honestly, for us to get all 4 kids together in the same place, it was pretty special.
We love that.
Yeah, it was great. Definitely less hip than whatever you guys did, but it was still fun. Yeah.
Well, we're all in the same place now. So you are our very first guest, which is an honor.
I feel honored.
It's an honor for you to be here. We talk a lot about dating. We have an audience at home that needs some really good dating advice. And I think you would be a beacon of knowledge for
Really?
them at home.
All right.
So now that we're talking about your wife, can you tell us like your love story? How did you guys meet? When did you know she was the one? We could all use some hope.
So, first day of 9th grade, man. I saw her. I was like, I love her. I just like flirted with her incessantly. She gave me no time, like none. Totally wasn't interested. And it took me a few months in class to kind of flirt with her, try and get to know her. And eventually, I think she just gave up and said, we could go out, whatever that meant in the 9th grade.
Right.
And we had a little bit of a break in college.
Okay.
But then I graduated. She graduated the same year. And we both ended up working in D.C. that summer. And, man, I haven't told this story in a while. But anyway, I was actually kind of like seeing another woman, very, not super formal. And I just looked at Laura one day. She looked at me. I was like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, but just hang on a minute. So I drove over to this other woman's house. I was like, I'm really sorry. We need to break up because I know who I'm going to marry. And it's like, not you, which was really like a horrible thing to say. It was terrible. This is why you don't want to take any advice from me. And then literally 6 weeks later, Laura and I got engaged.
Oh my gosh.
That was it. We've been married for 27 years, have 4 amazing kids, and I love her to death. I'm blessed.
Who's cutting
man.
those onions?
I'm blessed.
So you met her in person, in real life.
Yeah.
How do you think dating has changed now in the digital world with dating
man.
apps? Could you have survived?
I don't. It seems harder, man. I think you guys have a much harder, not like you guys, but like your generation has like a much harder task. And I guess the apps in some ways make the world smaller, right? Makes more
Right.
people accessible.
true.
In a lot of ways, it's like superficial and challenging, and it's tough, right? So I think the best advice I have is like don't set up artificial barriers. Don't sort of say, oh, I can't talk to this person. I can't reach out to this person, or the guy's got to go first, girl's got to go. Who cares about any of that stuff?
Yeah.
Just like if you feel a certain way, you got to trust your gut, trust your heart, and go for it.
Yeah.
And
Amen.
That's how I feel.
That's great advice. Do you think beyond just dating that like the apps have kind of changed human interaction and just like the digital world? Do you think people communicate differently back, when you were in high school or when
Totally.
you were in our age?
Totally, because we used to have to communicate face to face, which, by the way, is like hard sometimes, right? And it's super intense and maybe, challenging at times. But I think that's really important. I think you see it in other ways in life. I mean, too many folks are like, oh, I'll shoot a quick text, when actually you need to pick up the phone. You have to call. You have to talk to somebody. So I think the apps and all that, while they're great, it maybe takes a little bit of that personality, that sort of feel you get from looking somebody in the eye and having a conversation with them. And we got to make sure we still preserve some space to do that.
Yeah.
I know I sound like an old guy, but
No, you
that's
don't.
No, that's all.
Great.
Yeah, it's very
In
important.
that same vein, I'm going to put you on the spot. What's like, in terms of dating advice, what's a green flag to look for in a partner, something that's a good indicator, and what's a red flag?
All right. So I think if you're going to be with someone the rest of your life, so many things are going to happen. You're going to change in a million different ways. And you don't know what that's going to look like. You just don't. And you don't know what kids are going to do in your life, or not having kids, or what circumstances are coming, what tragedies, what gifts, like all these different things. And so you can't predict that. You almost can't worry about it. So I think the most important thing you need to do is have like the foundational things set, right? Like, are you in love with the foundation of agreeing on whatever, on faith, on how you want to kind of generally live your life, on being really honest about who you are, not entering that relationship with maybe a secret or something that's like holding you back from showing your partner who you really are. I think if you have those foundational things right, then you'll be able to deal with all kinds of things. Listen, when Laura and I got together, right, like we had those foundational things right. I mean, if I would have told her, hey, I'm going to be a governor, you're going to have to be the first lady of Pennsylvania, she'd be like, no way, right? She's a super private person. Well, we didn't know we were going to have 4 kids. We didn't know the life of really gifts and blessings we were going to have. And we've had to adapt and change over time, but the foundational stuff has always been there. And I think that's the most important thing.
Okay.
Wow,
Excellent.
I'm gonna start crying.
I know. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm a little heavy here, sorry.
No,
No,
we
that
love
was
it.
great.
Needed to hear all
Would you
this.
say a red flag is with someone who doesn't really seem to be like on the same page?
Yeah,
as
when you don't have the foundational stuff set. I mean, I just think like whatever that is to you. Again, for some
That's such a good
people it
point.
could be this is where I want to live. For some people it could be this is how I want to practice my faith, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You got to have that stuff rock solid. And,
Yeah.
and I think when you don't have that, when you don't have that like honesty and trust built in, then all the other stuff life throws at you is going to be really hard to be able to navigate in marriage.
Yeah.
100%.
So we have a lot of girls that listen at home, and you have a
Okay.
daughter. What is the most important piece of advice? It could be in general or dating specific that you
Yeah.
have given your daughter.
Well, shit, I told her not to date anybody, right? No, I'm kidding. No, I just think finding someone who's your soulmate, who kind of like, it's kind of like what I just said before, who looks at life the way you do, who's got those foundational things set the way you do, and you just want someone who's going to treat you well, right?
Amen.
I just want to make sure that whoever she brings home to see me, whose hand I'm going to squeeze the hell out of when I shave for the first time, better just be a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like you just said, you weren't expecting to be a governor one day. I'm sure you were probably wishing and hoping. Which one of the girlies?
I wanted to be in the NBA, but that didn't work out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Which
Yeah.
team would you play for?
Well, the Sixers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They were not looking to draft short Jewish guys, so I did not make it. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So going off of that, which one of the girlies do you think would be the best governor one day?
One of the 4 of us. Choose
Really?
wisely.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are killing me. I mean, okay, all right. So, at the risk of offending you, I would say Bran. Although, hold on, let me explain why. In order to get things done in politics today, and it is so damn divided, right?
Yeah.
You got to figure out a way to inspire people, to bring people together, to affect the conversation people are having every day in their lives in order to get something done, right? Pass a bill, make something happen, whatever. And Bran, with all of you girlies, has figured out how to influence the conversation. And I think that's really an extraordinary thing. Like, if you can influence the conversation, you can get shit done. Wow. And that's what we focus on doing every day. Now, in my field, it's how do we get stuff done to make sure women have the right to choose, kids have a great quality education, you name it. But every day I'm trying to influence that conversation the way you guys all do.
Edelman 2028.
There you go. Yeah. Just let me finish being governor
Yeah,
first.
you got it. No, you got it. Give me a few more years
All
to
right.
to
The
have
first
some fun.
Girlies of Pennsylvania.
How cool would that be?
Nice.
Yeah.
4 of us up there, like the Mount Rushmore, PA. So, since we could all be governor one day, not taking your place,
Yeah, you sure can.
if you had to switch lives or places with one of the girlies for one day, who would it be?
Well, I know you enjoy walking, right? Don't you enjoy getting out, walking? I was kind of reading a
Yeah, I
little
like
bit about you.
exercising. They're
Yeah.
more the walkers, but yeah.
All right. So
You
I
have to
like
lift.
I like being outside. I like exercise. I like walking. I mean, so I guess whichever one of y'all does that the most. Just
Yeah.
getting outside. I love the outdoors.
I think Brandon wins again.
yeah.
Yeah.
With walking, but you're more adventurous, Lindsay.
I like the adventures, but Brandon gets his steps in. He pushes me to go outside.
You
so.
got to do it. You got to move.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
makes you feel good.
Oh, I'm just winning everything.
There you go.
Cleaning
Set
house.
these questions up for Brandon. Okay. Now, one of the things us girlies love is
Yeah.
a good brunch. We love sitting at a table, eating brunch, and gossiping.
The best.
Yes. What do you look for in a
What
good
time do you start your brunch? Like, what's the right start time?
1 p.m.
Yeah.
That's a divided
Oh,
question.
It's kind of like a
How
lunch.
about you?
I'm earlier.
Yeah.
But not all of us love to get up early. So sometimes we have to push a little later. But then I'm hungry
So
in the
you're calling them
morning.
lazy, is that what you're
You know?
We like our sleep.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Morning Glory Diner. It's so good. Bella Vista, amazing.
Okay.
A recommendation.
That place is so cool. And it's just like community. It's amazing. Actually, funny story. Last time I was there, it's been a while, but Lori was running in the Broad Street run. So I was there 10 miles. I was unbelievably proud of her because so I get elected governor. She says, I'm going to start learning how to run and just going out and doing it. And she had never been a runner. Anyway, she said, and I'm going to compete in the Broad Street run, which was, whatever, 5 months later or something like that. It's 10 miles, not even 10K. She worked her ass off. She really trained. And so I took the boys and we went down for the start, the starting thing. And she went off, but we knew it was going to take whatever, an hour or something more. So I'm like, guys, let's go to Morning Glory Diner. And then we'll meet Mom at the end of the race. Well, anyway, we get there. We're having a great breakfast. And I look on my phone, on the Find My or whatever. And I'm realizing she's making incredible time. I was like, guys, we got to pay the bill and get the hell out of here. So we grabbed our breakfast and we went down to the finish line and saw her. So we had a great brunch that day. And actually, it was probably more breakfast. It was more tea time. It was early. But I love that place. You guys should check it out.
That has the cool names. Like the food is, it's written out cool. Am I thinking of it the right
Food
place?
is written out cool.
Yeah.
And they may have named a dish after
I knew it.
a governor.
We have to go tomorrow.
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah.
That would be my favorite breakfast place too.
Yeah.
If somebody
Yeah.
had a
Best.
breakfast plate named after me.
It's awesome. It's great.
Tomorrow.
All
Yeah,
right.
we have to go.
Good. You better go. Enjoy. Drop my name.
Okay, so now we're going to play a little game of Philadelphia themed this or that. We like to play Would You Rather here on the podcast. We wanted to do a Philadelphia, Pennsylvania
This
themed
or that.
this or that.
Okay.
Okay, so
And
the
we
first
do
one.
this or that, not slay or nay.
We can
That's
call
a
it
little-
Slay or
Slay
Nay.
or
That's
nay.
that's a little more
That's a
girly.
little old school. Whatever you guys want. I'm ready to play. Let's go.
Okay, ready? Wawa or Sheets?
Wawa.
Oh, okay.
Good answer.
And I want to be clear.
Yeah.
Even when I'm out west, even when I'm in your hometown of Erie, I'll still say Wawa.
Wow.
What's your Wawa
okay.
order?
It sort of depends on the time of
No,
day.
you're not getting out of this one.
No. I actually kind of like their breakfast hoagie sandwiches. Well, egg and cheese.
They are good.
Really good. I enjoy that.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
have wraps now. At Wawa.
They do.
Yes.
I haven't tried the pizza yet.
I was going to
haven't tried
ask, would you try the Wawa pizza?
it. I would try it. It wouldn't be my go-to pizza. No offense, but yeah.
Yeah, between us girlies is Team Wawa.
Okay, got it.
Broad Street Line.
Sheet's very good though. It is good. Well, okay. Go ahead.
Broad Street Line or Market Frankfurt Line?
So, as governor, I put forth a budget that's investing big time in SEPTA. So I'm hoping both lines and all SEPTA is going to get a lot of resources to help make sure they're really strong and safe and clean. I guess probably Broad Street Line because it means I'm going to a Sixers game or a Phillies game or something like that. Birds game.
You're 2 for 2 so
All
far.
right. 2 for 2? Okay, go ahead.
Now, this one's important. It kind
Go
of
ahead.
leads into what you just said. The Fanatic or Gritty?
You guys are going to pick Gritty because you're young. And cool and, but I'm kind of old school. I'm going to stick with the Fanatic. He was there when I was a kid.
Yeah.
He was there when I was a kid.
He's very nostalgic.
Yeah.
The Fanatic is an entertainer
Yeah.
as well.
His dance moves?
Yeah, pretty cool.
It makes sense.
Y'all remember when we got I-95 repaired in 12 days?
Yes.
The first group that we had going across in a fire truck over the new bridge included Gritty, the Fanatic, and all the other
I
Fanatics.
watched that video multiple times.
All the other, yeah. It was
That's
cool,
so
right?
Philadelphia. But
Totally cool, yeah. They're like, Gov, you should go first. I'm like, people don't want to see me go first. We want to see the
we want
mascots.
Gritty going across.
That's right.
Okay, I'm from Delaware, so this is even divided for where I'm from. Is it Lancaster or Lancaster?
Really? You don't know
I know,
this?
this is a tough one.
Lancaster.
Like, that's how my dad says it.
Yeah.
And everyone tells him he's wrong.
Lancaster. That's correct. There you go. We also have a Lebanon, not a Lebanon.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Lebanon.
A lot of fun facts here.
Yeah.
All right, so for Philly slang, there's two. We have Yins or John.
So Yins is Western PA. You know Yins
Right, yeah,
from
that's where
being
Bailey's
Erie.
from.
John is from around here. So, I mean, I don't know. Do you want me to pick which
Yeah, which one do you
mean-
think you'd catch yourself saying?
John.
John.
Yeah.
Okay, so, in the spirit of your outfit today, are you going bomber jacket or suit jacket?
Oh, man. If I can get out of a suit being a bomber, I'm in it every day. So I got my kids make fun of me. I got kind of like just a basic uniform, blue suit, white shirt, ideally sneaks, no tie. But if I can lose the suit jacket and put the bomber jacket on, that's what I prefer.
I like it. It looks good.
Thank you.
I do like that bomber jacket.
So, TikTok or Instagram?
TikTok.
That is also the right answer.
Wow,
Is
that was
it?
a quick one. Great.
Am I doing all right? Yeah.
You are officially a girly after that game.
I love that.
We might have to talk later about Sheets. I went to Penn State. I'm from here, but I went to
Yeah,
Penn
yeah.
State, so I love
Sheets
Sheets.
is great. Yeah.
But you're killing it.
All right, good. I love it. Thank you, guys. You guys spend a lot of time in here?
Yeah, once a week.
Got it. And when you're not here, what are you doing?
Well,
That's
working.
Yeah.
work. Talk
Working.
about this podcast.
Yeah. What do you do for work?
I work for Rush Order Tees and Printfly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm social media for both of their companies.
That's awesome. How about you?
I'm a project manager at a tech company. We make software for pharma companies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, up until yesterday, I did investment consulting for Taft-Hartley funds, so unions, moving money around.
Great.
So on to new things.
And I do TikTok.
Yeah.
This is my job.
And do you guys hope to do this like full time?
Absolutely.
The
That's
podcast
goal.
sounds
You're helping
like
us make our
a
dreams
dream.
come
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And like you can, do you need to do the show or can I keep asking you
true.
questions?
Honestly, I think this is great for the show.
Oh, okay. I'm actually super curious how the business side of this works. Like, I'm not trying to ask you how much money you make or anything, but like, how do you do it? Like, how do you monetize it? How do you live off? I think there's a lot of people out there who would love to be you guys and do this. And they're sort of curious, how do I make that work?
Yeah, I think you just have to build a community and a following that like really supports you and advocates for you. Most of my income comes through brand partnerships. So brands will reach out to me like a Wawa and say, hey, we have pizza coming in April. We would love for you to make content around the launch. They'll, offer a certain rate that my beautiful manager, Chris, will negotiate for me. And then, from there, we kind of go, we make the content and then they pay us. Yeah.
That's cool.
Which is cool. Yeah. And then the app itself pays you a little bit. It's kind of pennies compared to what the brands can pay you. But it's
Meaning, pardon me, when you run in a video or something,
so
you'll make a few bucks off that video.
Yeah. So any video I post that's longer than a minute on TikTok, they monetize it. So let's say they do like a rate per minute. So the amount of minutes that they watch, I might make 97 cents. So if I get like a really viral video, I could make like $400, $500 off a video.
Got it. So that's not the money that's letting you quit your other job and do this.
That's not. Yeah, it's not.
it.
It's the brand partnerships that can actually make a living out.
Does Instagram pay for a video or
They
not really?
do, but not as much. And TikTok doesn't pay nearly as much as YouTube does. But I don't really do YouTube, so maybe
How
in the
come?
future.
Was that like a conscious
It's just
choice?
long form content. It's a lot more editing. It's a lot more work. Just a lot more time behind the camera filming. Whereas TikTok, it's really cool that you can film something in a few minutes and edit it right on your phone and just keep it simple.
It is. I think it's amazing the way y'all have kind of flattened out communications across the globe in the sense that anyone with a camera, I mean, these are they look like nice cameras, but pretty simple, right? Or an iPhone, the way you can make content, put it up there, be a creator. And by the way, more people are watching that than some of the traditional television that costs millions and millions and millions of dollars to make. And I think it's super exciting for folks who do what you do to be able to communicate and get their message out. And pretty easy, right?
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Makes things very accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Now you get to ask more questions.
Well, we wanted to get a little serious on Between Us Girlies.
Yeah.
And every week we do something called Immunity Necklace. So it gives us the opportunity to
I'm
speak
aware.
our truth. Alrighty. Throw me in the hot seat. So we wanted to give you the opportunity to give us an immunity necklace.
Yeah. So one of the things Lori and I love to do is get around Pennsylvania and like talk to folks who oftentimes you don't hear from, right? They're not on the news, not in the newspapers. They're not on shows like this. And so like their voices don't always get raised in our politics or in our government. And Laura was out and about talking to some young women and girls, and they were talking to her really openly about how they literally would have to miss school because they got their period and there was no pads or tampons at school. And they were too poor to afford them and didn't have them at home. And so they'd have to go home. And I got to tell you something, like, that is not something I ever thought of. And honestly, I don't think Lori ever really thought of it. And so she leaned in, started talking to a couple different organizations that try and address period poverty, and ultimately said to me at our breakfast table, which is where most things happen in our house after we get the kids off to school, she's like, you got to do something about this. And my incredible team in the governor's office studied the issue, determined how much money it would cost in order to make sure that in schools all across Pennsylvania that needed it, they'd have pads and tampons for girls who need it. And I put it in my budget. And in my budget address, like our State of the State address, I spoke about it. I spoke about period poverty. And the voices of those people who are kind of like living in the shadow, never heard from, are now being elevated. We're going to solve this problem. And we're going to make sure that, these young people have what they need when they're in school. I guess, this is our immunity section here. I raise it because, like, I think it's not super normal for, like, a governor, especially like a dude governor, to say pad or tampon or period, on a show or let alone in their budget address. But I think it's really important to, like, speak openly about this stuff and speak out about it. I think another area that we need to talk more about that oftentimes lives in the shadow, particularly my generation, I think less so yours, is mental health. I've spent a lot of time in my career focusing on getting more resources for mental health, get more help for people. And a big part of it is just like destigmatizing the issue and speaking openly about it. And I hope platforms like this spend more time talking about mental health, being really open and honest about it. It's one of those things that, like, for too long we ignored, and now look at the challenges we're facing. I think it's a sign of strength when people speak openly about mental health issues, and I think it's really important. And that's something I'm leaning in on as governor, and not just making sure we've got the dollars for it, but that it's being targeted in a way that really helps folks, especially kids who are really struggling right now.
Wow, that's really awesome. And for the girlies listening and watching, remember that when you're voting for people who care about tampons and pads and aren't afraid to talk about it on a podcast. You're voting for people who care about your mental health. Like, these things are so important. So, girls, make sure you're in that booth voting. Okay, Governor, one more. So I know that you want to legalize marijuana.
I do.
Let's talk about that a little. Is there anything standing in your way of getting this done? Anything that you want to share with the girlies?
Yeah, that's a great issue. I'm glad you raised it. And by the way, I'll be really honest, like, this has been sort of an evolution for me. For a lot of years, I spoke out against legalizing marijuana. And in many ways, I think I didn't understand the issue fully. I know politicians aren't supposed to change their mind or admit that they didn't understand something, but it's true. I didn't fully grasp it. It was interesting as Attorney General, which is what I was before governor. I mean, my job was to, like, prosecute these cases. And the truth is, I thought having our prosecutors go out and arrest people and prosecute them for having marijuana was a ridiculous waste of resources. And so that sort of began me thinking about this differently, studying what was happening in other states where there was legalization, and recognizing that you didn't see an increase amongst kids using it. You didn't see an increase on DUIs. And in fact, actually, what you were seeing in those states is they were doing pretty well economically, and they were creating jobs. Over the years, and I've since obviously come out in favor of legalization, and what's happened over the years is nearly every one of our neighbors around us, think about it, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, Ohio just had a referendum and voted to legalize it. They're all not only legalizing it, they're making a lot of money off of it, and they're cleaning our clocks. And so now it's become a competitiveness issue for me. And so I want to make sure we do it, but we got to do it right here in Pennsylvania. So I've said I'm for legalization with the following stipulations. Number one, ownership should be local, meaning the people who own the dispensaries, they should come from Pennsylvania. Ideally, they should be coming from Black and brown communities that have been for too long harmed because of our policies in this country. Number two, we've got to make sure we expunge the records of those who have convictions for possessing, small amounts of marijuana. Like, you've got to create equity in the process. And then, of course, it's got to be regulated and taxed at, in responsible ways and responsible levels. That's going to allow us to be more competitive again. Now, to your question, what's holding us back? I'm literally the only governor in the entire country with a divided legislature, meaning I've got the House led by Democrats, the Senate led by Republicans. You know how hard that is to get everybody to agree on everything? Yeah. And so the Republicans in the Senate have said that they're not in favor of legalization. So I got some work to do to convince them in order to get a bill to my desk so I can sign it into law. So for all you watching the girlies here, if you support this, call your state senator and tell them, vote to legalize marijuana in Pennsylvania. All right, good.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. And we're so honored to have you sitting in this chair. We love everything that just came out of your mouth. So
talking about it and starting the conversation is like the most important part to everything you talked about. Because you're right. It is topics that not everyone discusses. So just starting the conversation, saying that first part is so important. We're really glad that you are doing it here on Between Us Girlies.
Well, I'm grateful to you girlies for giving us a platform to do it. And by the way, this is where I know a lot of folks are going to find out what's up, to hear what's on your minds, and I guess for the first time, a guest's mind. And I love the fact that you all are driving the conversation. And you do super fun, light stuff, but I know you also delve into really important topics too. And thanks for giving folks kind of a space where they can learn and share and grow also.
Yeah, absolutely. So usually our immunity necklace segments are a little heated. So we like to, but this is good. I feel
we could fight about something.
We're usually more negative, but this is positive. Right. I love it. Energy is great. So we typically like to switch to a more positive, lighthearted segment. We like to discuss our TikTok FYPs, so our For You pages.
Yeah.
And that being said, the girlies here would love to know what is on the governor's For You page this week.
Let me tell you something. I'm a creator, not a scroller.
Okay.
Amen.
Yes.
What's on your For You page?
Oh.
Tell him. Tell him.
So recently, as a Pennsylvanian, I don't know why this is on my For You page. It's the Minnesota high school hockey teams.
Really?
Every year there's a tournament. This year, right now, it's a tournament. So I've been watching their skate up intros on NHL on ESPN.
Okay.
So that's been on my
That's
TikTok.
cool.
I think I'm going to steal your answer every episode now. When you guys ask me what's on my For You page, I'm saying, I'm a creator. I don't scroll.
Yep.
That's
There
my
you go.
answer.
I love that.
Joe, did you see my Beyonce TikTok?
We sure
Did that make it
did.
to your For You page?
It did.
All
I would
right,
like to
good.
talk about it.
Good.
If you're down.
Yeah, whatever.
We saw that it went viral. You trying to come for my job now?
No, man, you're safe. You're
Okay.
safe.
Well, we do want to know, This Ain't Texas was your viral video talking about abortion.
Yeah.
What are some measurements that you're taking to keep abortion safe and legal in Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
And it's a hot topic right now, not just in Pennsylvania, but in the whole country. So what do you think the future of abortion is for the United States as a whole?
I think it's scary. I really do. I mean, think about my daughter. You guys were born with more rights than you have today.
Jesus.
That's a horrible thing.
terrible.
You had a right to govern your own bodies, make whatever decisions you want to make. And now that right was taken away from you when Dobbs happened, when they overturned Roe v. Wade. And in effect, what Dobbs meant was that it's now up to every state to set the rules. Now, I'm always going to defend a woman's right to choose. I think abortion is health care. And I think we have to make sure that women have the freedom to make decisions over their own bodies right here in Pennsylvania. But listen, we're one state. We're a big state. We're an important state. And I'm one governor.
Right.
And unfortunately, we no longer have that federal standard in place. And by the way, Donald Trump has already said he now wants to sign a national abortion ban into law. It's a horrible thing. So that would take away my power to protect women and their reproductive freedom here in Pennsylvania. We can't let him do that. Here's what I've tried to do. In the face of other states nearby banning abortion, West Virginia is an example, we've tried to make sure women in West Virginia have access to clinics in Pittsburgh, in the western part of our state. And we've seen a giant increase in the number of out-of-state women showing up at our clinics in Pennsylvania because they had a ban there. This is like, guys, this is real life stuff. Girlies, this is real life stuff. Like it's having a real effect on folks. The other thing we've tried to do is empower women to know where resources are. So we've got a website that we set up in the Commonwealth where if you need to get reproductive health care services, you have a website now. You can go punch in your info, get your zip code, whatever, and get the resources and the help that you need. Another thing that's really important is for over 3 decades in Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania funded these things called crisis pregnancy centers, which really were centers where pregnant women would go, and whether they realized it or not, it would actually not give them a full range of reproductive health care and wouldn't tell them about all of the different legal options available to them. I ended that as governor. After 30 plus years, I ended that because I believe if we're going to spend a cent of taxpayer money, it should be on making sure women have a full range of reproductive health care. I'm going to do everything in my power to stop, if God forbid Donald Trump's president again, stop the federal government from encroaching on our freedoms here in Pennsylvania. I'm going to do everything in my power to try and keep Joe Biden in the White House, who's going to defend our freedom. And let me tell you, I think that the issue of freedom is on the ballot this November. I don't want to get super political, but this is a central issue. And I think if you care about freedom, if you care about the right to make decisions over your own body, if you care about the rights of others to make decisions over their own bodies, well, you better damn well vote. And you better vote for the candidates that support a woman's right to choose. And I certainly do.
Yeah. That
Amazing.
was the best, perfect answer.
Girlie for life.
Yeah. So
I got the T-shirt and everything.
So sometimes at the end of our episodes, we talk about what we're doing in the future, some upcoming plans. So do you have anything fun coming up you want to share with the girlies?
You have anything fun coming up you want to share? You guys keep asking
We
me.
have dinner tonight. We have dinner with, so it'll be exciting. Okay. It's always good to have a girls' night dinner.
What's sort of the dinner vibe? You're going out, cooking, like what's happening?
Oh, we're going out.
Going out.
No cooking.
Some shared plates, some wine. That's like the perfect recipe.
Sounds good. All right, y'all be together?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so fun.
Then we'll hit the town after, cause some ruckus.
Nice.
Typical
Don't get
Girlies
in trouble.
pipeline.
Yeah. Politically safe ruckus.
Yeah, good. I don't want to get a call.
No.
Yeah, I don't want that.
After today, no. You're like a fatherly figure now.
Oh, my God. Call me his father. Yeah. No, I'll tell you what. Tonight I'm going to have a great dinner with family. Friday night is always our family dinner, so we'll all be together this evening, which will be great. And a little bit of a busy weekend. I got to be in Scranton tomorrow. It'll be fun. And St. Patty's Day. It'll be fun. We got a good weekend.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Any plans like professionally in the future? Any upcoming projects you're working on that
You
you're
want the
excited about?
secrets.
Yeah,
all the tea.
Spill
the tea.
Some tea for the girlies at home. Where can
So-
we look for you?
I'll tell you what, we're working really hard right now to make college more affordable in Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
To make sure that no student, median income or less, will pay more than $1,000 a semester to go to a Pennsylvania college university. So not exactly tea, because I've talked about it, but that's like a thing we're really working on. Super important. We got to lower student debt, increase our investment in, make sure college is more affordable. It's a big deal and something we're working on.
Yeah. Can I throw in a bonus question?
Yeah, whatever you want.
With all the, there's a lot of negative things going on in the world.
Yeah.
What is something positive that people can look forward to? Just in life in general, in the country of the USA, what do you think what's something great that is going on right now that you're super passionate about and you're happy to see?
Yeah. Can I give 2 answers?
Yeah, absolutely.
There is a lot of negativity out there. And I think especially like when you look at government, and I know, in some ways, I think government has failed your generation. We haven't solved a lot of the big pressing problems from, school shootings to climate change. As we talked about before, you have fewer rights than you did when you were born. I mean, I get how frustrating that is for young folks. And I understand that makes you frustrated, angry, not want to vote, you name it, like whatever it is. And so one of the things I hope folks do take note of is in Pennsylvania, where we have this divided legislature, we're actually showing the government can get stuff done. Like we're doing big things on education, on violence prevention, you name it, economic development to keep young folks here in our Commonwealth. And that's something that I'm really proud of. And I realize I sound a little bit like a homer on that, but I hope folks can look and be like, okay, well, at least in Pennsylvania, like they're getting shit done and they're making my life a little bit better. I think more broadly, what I would say is if you stop doom scrolling or, you guys probably aren't reading a newspaper, but reading a newspaper or whatever, where there's so much negativity and you get out and you actually realize there's so many good people doing so much good work in our communities, like making a difference. And those folks inspire me. They inspire Lori. We talked about period poverty before in response to your question. I mean, there are people out doing this work in the absence of a government solution that didn't exist until, we came along. And like they're inspiring. There's a lot of people who are doing inspiring stuff every day. And they kind of, they fill me up. They make me feel good. And I just encourage people to find those folks in their communities and whatever they care about, whether it's politics and governing, whether it's business, you name it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Great.
Well, before we close out today's episode, anything else you want to add?
No, just keep doing what y'all are doing. It's cool. It's exciting. I wish you guys so much success. And I hope, after this appearance, assuming I didn't kill all your viewership and your listenership, I hope you'll share with me whatever feedback your listeners, your viewers have, and help me be a better governor. I think I'm better when I listen to folks and when I hear what's on their mind. Sure. So maybe you could share that with me.
Where can the viewers find you? On social media? You can give your handles, your website. Where's the best place for people at home to search for more information about Governor Shapiro?
Josh Shapiro, PA, on everything. TikTok, Instagram. Your folks aren't on Facebook, I don't think, other than like Facebook Marketplace or something.
I like to use it.
So Josh Shapiro, PA, or Governor Shapiro. So Josh Shapiro, PA is a little bit more like personal, political. Governor Shapiro is the work we're doing every day. And then you can also text me. I think I'm maybe one of the only governors that set up a number you can text me, 717-788-8990. Shoot us a text. We'll respond. I really do want to hear from folks and know what's up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay.
Well, I think the girlies are going to be very excited to listen to this episode, and I'm really happy that you were able to sit here and enjoy this with us. And we think you're really candid and really cool, honestly.
Really?
And it's so nice.
Definitely.
Yes.
I hope someone recorded that part.
It's really nice to have somebody who cares and someone who speaks so frankly. It's so nice to not hear a run around, just to hear the issues and kind of what you're doing and what things are holding you back, and it's just really personable, and I love that. So thank you so much for being here with the girlies. As you all know, keep everything we said between us girlies.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
That was so fun.
Yeah.